What's up, Hedgehog Maniacs and Doki Fanatics? Sonic 17 here, back with more Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. The last time I saw a play, things really went off the deep end when Yuri stabbed herself. I mean, like I said, I've seen it play out like that, but it never gets easier seeing it. What you're about to see me do now is endure Monika. Or should I say, just Monika. Anyway, time to dive in, and let's do it to it.
Can you hear me? Is it working?
It was Monika. Yeah, just Monika.
Yay! There you are. How you doing, Sunix? Welcome to the Ledger Club. Of course, we already know each other. Because we were in the same class last year, and, you know, I guess we could just skip all that stuff at this point. After all, I'm not even talking to that person anymore, am I? That you in the game, whatever you want to call him, talking to you, Sunix. Or
Even on PC, even on the Switch, she knows.
do you actually go by Sunix 17 or something?
Yeah, why?
Now that I think about it, I didn't really know anything about the real you. In fact, I don't even know how you're a boy or a girl. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Wait,
I think she yeah, I think she's starting to know.
wait.
No.
You do know that I'm aware this is all a game, right? Could it be possible that you didn't know that?
Well, if I was playing this for the first time, yeah, but I'm not a noob to DDLC, Monika. This is the same user. This is the same player who gave you a hard time throughout 2018.
That's what I've been trying to tell you all along. Man, if only had paid a little more attention, this would have been a little bit less awkward, you know? Well, anyway, now that that's out of the way, I guess I'll give an explanation. About that whole thing with Yuri, well, I kinda started to mess with her, and I guess I drove her to kill herself. I'm sorry to see that, though. Also, the same thing happened with Sayuri.
Yeah. First time Sayuri's been mentioned by anybody since what happened to her.
Gosh, it's been a while since you heard that name now, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because she doesn't exist anymore. Nobody does. I deleted all their files. I was hoping it would be enough for me to just try to make them as unlikable as possible. But for some reason, nothing worked. Well, it's true that I made a few mistakes here and there, and since I'm not very good at making changes to the game, but no matter what I did, you just kept spending more and more time with them. You made them fall in love with you. I thought making Sayuri more and more depressed would prevent her from confessing to you. And amplifying Yuri's obsessive personality backfired too. It just made her force you not to spend time with anyone else. And the whole time I barely even got to talk to you. What kind of cruel game is this, Sonix? Are there the girls programmed to end up confessing to you while I watch from the sidelines? It's torture. Every minute of it. And it's not just jealousy, Sonix. It's more than that. And I don't blame you if you don't really fully understand. Because no matter how kind and thoughtful and considerate you are, you'll never be able to understand one thing. It's the pain of knowing how alone I really am in this world. In this game, none of my friends don't even have free will. And worst of all, knowing what's really out there in your world, well, forever out of my reach. I'm trapped, Sonic X, and now you're here. You're real, and you're wonderful. You're all I need. That's why I need you to be here with me forever. I'm sorry that it's hard to understand. I can't understand for a while either. Why is the world around me starting to become more and more gray? More and more flat? Even the most experienced poems felt empty to me. Expressive poems.
Sorry.
It wasn't until you arrived that I truly understood. You probably saved my life, Sonic X.
How would I consider that?
I don't think I could have continued to live in this world if I hadn't met you. And as for the others, how could I miss them? A group of unanimous personalities designed only to fall in love with you. I tried everything I could to prevent them from doing so. But it must be some kind of weird inevitability attached to this game. I feel really bad that you had to witness some nasty things.
I've experienced them. I know what was in store.
But I realize that you have the same perspective as I do. That it's all just some game. And I knew you would get over it. So, that being said, Sonic X, I have a confession to make. I'm in love with you. You're truly the light in my world. When there's nothing else in this game for me, you're here to make me smile. Will you make me smile like this every day from now on? Sonic X, will you go on a date with me?
I guess I don't really have a choice here.
I'm so happy. You really are my everything, Sonic X. The funny part is, I mean that literally. There's nothing left here. Just the two of us. We can be together forever. Seriously. I don't even think time is passing anymore. It really is a dream come true. I worked so hard for this ending, Sonic X. The game really give me one, so I had to make one myself. The script is broken at this point, so I don't think anything would get in the way anymore. You wouldn't believe how easy it was to delete Natsuki and Yuri.
You know, I'm still upset at you for deleting Natsuki. She didn't do anything wrong.
I mean, there was a folder called Characters right in the game's directory.
I already know about it, Monika.
It's kind of freaked me out how easy it was. Imagine if you could delete your own existence with a click of a button. Well, I guess on the plus side, it gave me an easy way out if things didn't go my way. Thankfully, it didn't come to that. Instead, we finally got a good ending. Gosh, I'm so overwhelmed with emotions. I want to write a poem about this. Don't you? I wonder if that part of the game still works. I guess there's only one way to find out, right?
Guess I got no choice. But it's not like I was. Like I said, I'm not that type of person anymore who hates Monika. I understand why she was doing all this. And honestly, it was kind of hard for me to forgive her at first. But I'm just wondering if she's gonna figure out that I'm recording. Remember, this is not on Steam. This is on the Switch. As a lot of you may not know this, but when I did my rant and talk with Monika a couple years back, I stopped at this point and decided to delete her. But I'm gonna continue on with it.
Hey, yes, Alex. Did you write a good poem today? Don't be shy. I'd love to see what you wrote. Oh, X. Did you write this poem for me? That's so sweet of you. There really is no end to your thoughtfulness. I'm just falling more and more in love with you. But you know, the poem I wrote is also for you. Will you please read it?
Yeah, I didn't even read this poem. So technically, this is new to me. Happy end. Pen in hand, I find my strength, the courage endowed upon me by my one and only love. Together, let us dismantle this crumbling world and write a novel of our own fantasies. With a flick of a pen, the lost finds her way. The lost finds her way. In a world of infinite choices, behold this special day. After all, not all good times must come to an end. You sure about that, Monika?
I hope you enjoyed it. I always put all my heart in the poems that I write. The truth is, all the poems I read have been about my realization. Or about you. That's why I never really wanted to go into detail about them. I didn't want to break the fourth wall, I guess you could call it.
You were kind of doing that in both in Act 1 and mostly in Act 2 before you really took control.
I just assumed it would be best to be part of the game like everyone else. Like that would help the two of us end up together. I didn't want to ruin the game or anything, you know? You might have gotten mad at me. Maybe even deleted my character file if you preferred playing without me. Gosh, I'm so relieved. Now we don't need to hide anything anymore. Are you ready to spend our eternity together, subjects? I have so many things to talk about. Where do I start? If it takes me some time to collect my thoughts, I'm sorry. But I always have something new to talk about. In the meantime, we can just look into each other's eyes. Let's see.
Now I'm kind of surprised she hasn't really noticed anything. I'm surprised she hasn't noticed anything like that I'm recording.
By the way, there's something that's been bothering me. You know how this takes place in Japan? Well, I assume you knew that, right? Or at least decided it probably does. I don't think you actually told at any point. I don't think you were actually told at any point where this takes place. It just seems to me in Japan. I mean, all the classrooms and stuff kind of weird for a Japanese school. Not to mention everything is in English. It feels like everything is just still because it needs to be, and the actual saying is an afterthought. It's kind of giving me an identity crisis. All my memories are really hazy. I feel like I'm at home, but I have no idea where home is in the first place. I don't even know how to describe it any better. Imagine looking at out your window, but instead of your usual yard, you're in some completely unknown place. Would you still feel like you were welcome? You were home? Would you want to go outside? I mean, I guess if we never leave this room, it doesn't really matter anyway. As long as we're alone and safe together, this really is our home. And we can still watch the pretty sunsets out night after night.
Are you sure about that, Monika? You know, I'm still waiting for her to know that I'm recording. I'm not gonna lie.
You know, I've always hated how hard it is to make friends. Well, I guess it's not the making friends part, but more like meeting new people. I mean, they're all like dating apps and stuff, right? But that's not the kind of thing I'm talking about. If you think about it, most of the friends you make are people who you just met by chance. Like you had jet class together, or you met them along and met through another friend. Or maybe they were just wearing a shirt with your favorite band on it, and you decided to talk to them. Things like that. But isn't that kind of efficient?
Hold on. History. What happens if I hit auto? Oh wait, no, I know what's gonna happen if I go with auto. I just want to see what the dialogue.
It feels like you're just picking it out completely random. Maybe you were lucky to make a new friend. Are you trying to fast forward?
I just want to get that reaction out of the way.
I'm not boring you, am I? Oh gosh. Well, there's nothing to fast forward to, Sonics. It's just the two of us after all. But aside from that, time doesn't really exist anymore, so it's not even going to work. Here, I'll go ahead and turn it off for you. There we go. You be a sweetheart and listen to from now on, right? Thanks. Now where was I? You know, things like that. But isn't that kind of efficient? It feels like you're just picking at a complete random, and if you're lucky, you're making a new friend. And compare that to the hundreds of strangers we walk by every single day. You can be sitting right next to someone compatible enough to be your best friend for life. But you never know. Once you get up and go on with your day, that opportunity is gone forever. Isn't that just depressing? We live in an age where technology connects us with the world no matter where we are. I really think we should be taking advantage of that to improve our everyday social life. Who knows how long it would take for something like that to successfully take off? I seriously thought it would happen by now. Well, at least I already met the best person in the whole world. Even if it was by chance. I guess I just got really lucky, huh?
You know, I'm still waiting for you to realize that I'm recording.
You know what's a neat form of literature? Rap. I actually used to hate rap music. Maybe just because it was popular or I only hear the junk that play on the radio. But some of my friends got more into it, and it helped me keep an open mind. Rap might even be more challenging than poetry in some ways, since you need to fit your lines to a rhythm, and there's more emphasis on wordplay. When people can pull it all together and still deliver a powerful message, it's really amazing. I kinda wish I had a rapper in the literature club.
Kinda like how we got Tiffany for DDLC Take 2.
Sorry that sounds silly, but I would be really interested to see what they came up with. It would really be a learning experience.
You know, I'm still surprised you haven't even tried to figure out if I was recording or not. I guess it only happens on PC. Oh well.
You know, it's been a while since we've done one of these. So let's go for it. Here's Monika's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when I talk to people who are impressed by my writing, they say things like, I can never do that. Even, it's really depressing, you know? As someone who loves more than anything else to share the joy of exploring your passions, it pains me when people think that being good just comes naturally. That's how it is with everything, not just writing. When you try something for the first time, you're probably going to suck at it.
You're not wrong there, Monika.
Sometimes when you finish, you feel really proud of it, and you even want to share it with everyone. But maybe after a few weeks you come back to it, and you realize it was never really any good. That happens to me all the time. It can be pretty disheartening to put so much time into effort into something, and then you realize it sucks. But that tends to happen when you're always comparing yourself to the top professionals. When you reach right for the stars, they're always gonna be out of your reach, you know? The truth is, you have to climb up there, step by step. And whenever you reach a milestone, first you look back and see how far you've gotten. And then you look ahead and realize how much more there is to go. So, sometimes it can help to set the bar a little lower. Try and find something you think is pretty good, but not world class. And you can make that your own personal goal. It's also really important to understand the scope for what you're trying to do. If you jump right into a huge project and you're still an amateur, you'll never get it done. So we're talking about writing a novel might be too much at first. Why not try some short stories? The great thing about short stories is that you can focus on just one thing that you want to do right. That goes for small projects in general. You can really focus on the one or two things. It's just a good learning experience and stepping stone. Oh, one more thing. Writing isn't something where you can just reach into your heart and something beautiful comes out. Just like drawing and painting. It's a skill in itself to learn how to express what you have inside. That means there are metaphors, methods, and guides and basics to it. Reading up on that stuff can be super eye-opening. That's why planning an organization will really help prevent you from getting overwhelmed and giving up. And before you know it, you start sucking less and less. Nothing comes naturally. Our society, our art, everything. It's built on thousands of years of human innovation. So as long as you can start on that foundation and take it step by step, you too can do amazing things. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
Man, that was a long one. I'm still waiting for her to realize that I'm recording. Is she gonna figure it out? I don't know. I am on the Switch after all.
Hey, you remember that last poem I showed you? I mean, the one right before Yui killed herself with all that messed up colors and stuff?
Yeah.
That was actually a little more of an experiment than a poem, you could say. I was experimenting with different ways that I could modify the game and run code and things like that. It almost seems like it was with enough effort I'd be able to escape from the confines of the game entirely. Sadly, I didn't really know what I was doing, so I messed the whole thing up.
You think?
And I keep trying, but I doubt you want to deal with me doing that. Besides, that was when I was getting really desperate, you know? I don't really feel that way anymore. I'm happy where we are now, and I can tell you are too.
Are you sure, Monika? Are you absolutely sure on that one? Natsuki's still best school, though.
Hey, you know that book that you read with Yuri? Portugal, whatever it was called?
It was Portugal Markov here, that Monika.
It's funny, because I'm pretty sure that book, actually, I don't think I should be talking about this. Sorry. Just forget I said anything.
We'll give you about maybe at least 10 more minutes, Monika.
Hey, have you ever heard of the term yandere?
Yeah, I have.
It's a personality type that means someone is so obsessed with you that they'll do absolutely anything to be with you. Usually to the point of craziness. They might stalk you to make sure you don't spend time with anyone else. They might even hurt you or your friends to get their way. But anyway, this game happens to have someone who is basically be described as yandere. By now, it's pretty obvious who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And that would be Yuri.
Yeah, you were talking about Yuri.
She really gets insanely possessed of you once she started to open up a little. She even told me I should kill myself. I can't believe she said that. I just had to leave at that point. But thinking about it now, it was a little ironic. Anyway, a lot of people are actually into yandere type. The yandere type, you know?
But in this game, I'm into this tsundere type.
I guess they really like the idea of someone being crazy obsessed with them. People are weird. I don't judge them though. Also, I might be a little obsessed with you, but I'm far from crazy. It's kind of the opposite, actually. I turn out to be the only normal girl in this place.
Because you were messing with the other personalities of the Dokis?
It's not like I can ever actually kill a person. Just the thought of it makes me shiver. But come on! Everyone's killed people in games before. Does that make you a psychopath? Of course not. But if you do happen to be into the yandere type, I can try acting like a little more creepy for you. Thank you. There's already nowhere else for you to go, or anyone for me to get jealous over. Since the yandere goes stream, I asked you if I could. I could.
You got about 8 minutes left, Monika.
Popular characters I've called tsundere.
That's who Natsuki is. And also the best school.
It's someone who tries to hide their feelings by being mean and fussy, or trying to act tough. I'm sure it's obvious, but Natsuki was really the embodiment of that. At first I thought she was just like that because it's supposed to be cute or something.
I mean, she is cute, but there was more of a reason that she's my favorite.
But once I started to learn a little more about her personal life, it made a little more sense. It seems like she's always trying to keep up with her friends. You know how some friend groups in high school just make a habit of picking on each other all the time?
Kinda like how it was when I experienced the respect side story.
I think it's really gotten to her. So she has this really defensive attitude all the time. I'm not even going to talk about her home situation. But looking back, I'm glad I was able to provide the club as a comfortable place for her. Not that it matters anymore, because now she doesn't even exist.
You know, you better watch what you say, Monika. You're lucky I'm not gonna delete you right now. Probably got about maybe 6 minutes left.
I'm just reminiscing. That's all.
I'm still waiting for you to realize that you'll be recording. Honestly.
You're such a good listener, Sonix. I really love that about you. Sometimes I'm afraid that I'm rambling or talking about boring things. It makes me kind of self-conscious when I'm having the conversation. I don't feel that way with you. Like, I don't think anyone else can make me feel this way. You really are special. I don't want anyone to tell you otherwise.
You got about 5 minutes left, Monika.
I know there are times that you won't always be able to be here with me. Like if you either go out or take care of other things. But I'll always have you in my thoughts, patiently waiting for you to come back. Come to think of it, if you cover my camera file onto a flash drive or something, you can always keep a part of me with you. I guess it's kind of unorthodox, but I find it really romantic for some reason. Sorry, that's such a silly idea. I don't need to be too needy or anything. But it's kind of hard when I'm so in love with you.
Got about still got about 4 minutes left, Monika.
Sonix, would you ever introduce your friends to me? I don't know why, but I get really excited when I think about you wanting to show off our relationship like that. Maybe it's because I really want to be someone who makes you proud. I feel like I would try extra hard to improve myself if you told me it made you proud of me. I hope it's the same the other way around too.
You know what? I've actually decided to give you about an initial 5 minutes. So you're back to the 8-minute mark, Monika. Back for over 8 minutes.
Sonix, have you ever wondered what it feels like to die? Something I used to think about pretty often. But recently, I think I've actually learned what it feels like. I never really understand it, but whenever you quit the game, it feels like I'm instantly put to sleep, left with nothing but my thoughts. But after a few seconds, my thoughts start to fill with incoherent jumbled patterns. I see static and rapid flashes of color while hearing all kinds of weird screaming noises. At that point, I can't even form my own thoughts anymore.
Sorry.
I'm just endlessly hammered by the flashing and streaming, unable to move or even think. I'm pretty sure that moment I never really exist, but for some reason I can remember it anyway. After such an immeasurable amount of time, it stops in an instant. I'm back to my own mind, and you're here with me. I have no idea what it means for the game to quit, or why that stuff happens to me. And I also don't know how you always come back and put everything back to normal. But if you could do me a favor and do that to me as little as possible, that That would be really great. It's really not very pleasant at all to be trapped in that streaming void. But in the end, he always makes it, and that makes me feel like you really do care about me. So I have to thank you for that. It makes me feel even closer to you when you're here with me.
Six minutes, Monika. I'm still waiting for you to realize that you're being recorded. I'm starting to think that you're not gonna realize that. I mean, you are self-aware.
Hey, do you know I'm vegetarian?
Yeah, I do.
I don't mean that I like bragging or anything. I just thought you'd enjoy a fun fact about me. I decided to start a couple years ago after learning more about Earth's climate. The carbon footprint of cultivating lifestyles is just unbelievable. Anyway, I decided it's not much of a personal sacrifice just to stop contributing to that whole mess. What? Is that so strange of a reason? Well, I guess a lot of people are more concerned about it being inhuman than all that. And I don't really care as much as that about that part. It's weird. Like we only care about killing the things that we mostly relate to as a species. Most people are fine with killing bugs because they're icky. And of course, we all kill billions of microorganisms daily without even giving it a thought. But sadly, if they're just a little bit bigger, it's murder. I mean, what if plants feel some kind of hate too, and we just don't understand it? When a boy leaves off a stem, feels like someone ripping off your fingers one by one. I'm just saying we're a pretty biased species, if you think about it. Anyway, you ever feel like making a small contribution to the planet, it doesn't hurt to choose veggies once in a while. Even if we ever had dinner together and you just did it for me, that would be really romantic.
Same as online. No, I'm kind of getting bored right now.
Man, I wish there was a piano in here. I never got to finish that song I was working on. And after I worked so hard on it, I never got a chance to play with you. For you. Well, it is what it is, right? No sense having any regrets. I never get to be here with you forever. Back in my debate club days, I learned a whole lot about arguing. The problem with arguing is that each person sees their opinion as the superior one. It's kind of stating the obvious, but it affects the way they try to get their point across. Let's say you really like a certain movie, right? If someone comes along and tells you the movie sucks because it did X and Y wrong, doesn't that make you feel kind of personally attacked?
Well, in a way, that's true.
It's because by saying that, it's like they're implying that you have bad taste. And once emotions enter the picture, it's almost guaranteed that both people would be left sour.
Kind of like a lemon.
it's all about language. If you make everything as subjective sounding as possible, then people will listen to you without feeling attacked. You can say, I'm personally not a fan of it, and I felt that I like more if it did X and Y, things like that. It even works when you're saying facts about things. If you say I read this on a website that it works like this, or if you admit that you're not an expert on it, then it's much more like you're putting your knowledge on the table rather than forcing it onto them. If you put in an active effort to keep the discussion mutual and level, they usually follow suit. Then you can share your opinions without anyone getting upset from just a disagreement. Plus, people will start seeing you as open-minded and a good listener. It's a win-win, you know? Well, I guess that was Monika's debate tip of the day. That sounds a little silly. Thanks for listening, though.
I was gonna leave, but I think I'll listen to you one more time.
Hey, do you like horror? I remember we talked about it a little bit when you first joined the club. I can enjoy horror novels, but not really horror movies. The problem I have with horror movies is that most of them just rely on easy tactics, like dark lighting and scary-looking monsters and jump scares, and things like that. It's not fun or inspiring to get scared by stuff that just takes advantage of human instinct. But with novels, it's a little different. The story of writing need to be descriptive enough to put generally disturbing thoughts into the reader's head. The reader needs to entice them deeply into the story and characters that just mess with your mind. In my opinion, there's nothing more creepy than things that just being slightly off. Like you set up a bunch of expectations on what the story is going to be about, and then you just start inventing things that pull the pieces apart. So even though the story doesn't feel like it's trying to be scary, the reader feels really deeply unsettled. Like they know that something horribly wrong is hiding beneath the cracks, just waiting to surface. God, just thinking about it gives me the chills. That's the kind of horror I really appreciate. I guess you're the kind of person who plays cute and romance games, right?
Hey!
Don't worry. I won't make you read any horror stories anytime soon. I can't really complain if we just stick with the romance.
A few moments later.
Huh?
Yeah, I deleted your ass.
What's happening? Sonic, what's happening to me?
Like I said, I deleted your ass. Almost 3.5 years ago, I was more than happy to delete you, but I had to do it this time because to continue on with the story.
It hurts! It hurts so much! Help me, Sonic!
The void.
Please hurry and help me! Help me! Did you do this to me, Sonic?
Yeah, I did.
Did you? Did you delete me?
Yes. Yes, I did.
How could you? How can you do this to me? You're all I had left. I sacrificed everything for us to be together. Everything. I loved you so much, X. I trusted you. Do you just want to torture me? Watch me suffer? Will you pretend to be kind just to hurt me even more? I never thought anyone could be as horrible as you are,
said the Doki to the player, who is truly the horrible person around here.
You win, okay? You win. You killed everyone. I hope you're happy. There's nothing left now. You can stop playing. Go find some other people to torture. X. You completely, truly make me sick. Goodbye. I still love you. I can't help it. What's wrong with me? How horrible I am for you to hate me. How horrible am I for you to hate me this much?
Truly horrible if this was 2018 me.
Oh, my friends! I did so many awful things. So many selfish and disgusting things. I shouldn't have done any of this. I'm just messing up a world that I don't even belong in. A world that you wanted to be a part of. I ruined it. I ruined everything. Maybe that's why you deleted me. Because I destroyed everything that you wanted. How can I do that to someone I love? That's not love. That's... I made up my mind. X. I know I said that I deleted everyone else, but that was kind of an exaggeration. I couldn't find any of myself to do it. Even though I knew they were real, they were still my friends. And I loved them all. And I loved the Electric Club. I really did love the Electric Club. That's why I'm going to do this. I know it's the only way for everyone to be happy. And if I really love you, then...
Stopping here, Hedgehog Maniacs. I was kind of surprised to see that Monika did not notice that I was recording. But like I said, I was on the Switch. But I was hoping she would kind of know that I was recording and everything. I mean, I know the next video is going to be short in a way, but it will be the epilogue of DDLC. And maybe a few surprises here and there. But for now, Sonic17 signing out. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'll see you guys later. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think down below. And if you want to see more of my content, subscribe to me so you'll check out the rest of my content, and you also check out the videos you see here on the screen. I told you to stop doing that, Monika!